Hello ladies and gentlemen, Xcentauri here and welcome back to another video. I hope all of you are doing well because I am as always, and in today's video we're going to be looking at some of the most underrated airports on Infinite Flight, but more specifically we're looking at the United Kingdom because there are so many airports which not that many people actually fly to. So I thought, well, do you know what, we'll start off with a UK version and then we'll do a version for other countries. So if we hit, let's say, 15 likes, we'll do it for other nations, which you guys can request down below in the comment section. So I think that'll be a pretty cool idea. So we're obviously starting off at the first airport because that makes sense, and we're at Bristol Airport. Now Bristol is right here, so not many people may know where it is in the United Kingdom, but it's right here, so it's just by Wales, and it's actually a really cool looking airport. I mean, I know I've just flown away from it, so we'll go back to the takeoff, but it's a really good little airport. You get airlines such as Ryanair and EasyJet fly out of here quite often, especially if you're looking at doing tourist routes. So if you're someone who regularly flies from Spain, Italy or France to the United Kingdom and you're a bit bored of always flying to London or even Manchester, then Bristol might be a cool place for you to go. So we're gonna just fly off the runway here. And we're just gonna have a look. So I think you even have the opportunity to back taxi, which is pretty cool, but it's you know, it's not a massive airport, but it's quite a large one, I'd say. You know, you got a lot of aircraft here. Look, you can get a lot of smaller aircraft gates, so you don't really get big aircraft such as 777s, you know, or the A330s. I don't even think there's a spot big enough for it, but it's perfect if you're wanting to fly the 737 family or the A320 family. So that is the first airport on my list. The next one, again, we're also staying in southern England, but we're going to go to Southampton. Now this one is perfect because it's got a mix of normal aircraft and then also general aviation. So we'll spawn in an actual place here. So obviously there's no jetways at this airport, which is quite unfortunate, but that's absolutely fine for me, and we'll just always start and just move about. But you can see right here, so it's got, you know, it's got the terminal, car parks on top of it as well. I think it's really cool. So you've got obviously the car park, and then the terminal I think is that building over in front of us over there, mate. Oh no, and then right here you got the fire engines, and then this bit just in front of us is the general aviation bit, which is where I flew. So I think it's a really good airport if you really enjoy flying general aviation on Infinite Flight. It's almost perfect for that, and I think there's a lot of detail which has gone into the airport here, so I think it's definitely one you should consider. And we're doing reverse thrust as well, but yeah, it's a lovely little airport again. And again, if you're into flying to places like the Channel Islands, which are right here in the -8, it's a perfect route for that. But you know, flying in like a TBM along the south coast is brilliant, but again, you can do some slightly longer flights in it, and it's really just perfect for all of that. The next airport is in the north of England, and if I can find it, it's in Venice. And this is actually, I'm a big fan of this airport again for some reason. I quite like it. We'll go in the EasyJet livery because they fly the A319 out of this airport. Actually, when I was lucky enough to fly the other week to Alicante, my aircraft came from here to London Gatwick. There's also a trip report on the channel if you're interested in watching that. You know, selfless self-advertisement there. But yeah, this is a really cool airport. You know, it's a small airport, so it is more for, you know, A319s, A320s. I presume an A321 can fly here, but I don't really think you get bigger than that here. The runways themselves are quite small, so it is, again, it's a little bit more challenging to take off and land, but it's a really cool little niche airport, I think. And I think, again, if you're just wanting to do shorter European hops, it's great for you. But don't worry, guys, I've got a few an airport at the end of this, which is great for all sorts of flights. But again, it's a really small runway, as you can see here. And we'll just we'll full throttle it. Not that I'd normally do that, but it is just a great airport, and I don't see why people don't fly out of here. I understand the hype around London Heathrow, obviously, because there's always ATC there, and everyone's like, "Oh, let's fly to Heathrow." You know, I'm not one to talk. I'm literally flying there right now on on training server. But yeah, again, you can see this runway. It's not too big. It's not too small. There's definitely smaller runways, being the one we're about to visit next. But yeah, this is a great place to fly to. So I think in Venice, you know, if you're looking at doing just flying to London Heathrow, but you're bored of coming from Europe, this route, it's not long. How many miles is it? It's 385 nautical miles, so it's, you know, it's about an hour. You could probably do it in 45 minutes, 50 minutes, depending how quick you fly. But yeah, so it's a good little route. Next one on our list is perfect for the A220 or the Embraer. So let's get the Swiss livery up, because this is my favourite, one of my favourite routes. And we're going to London City, okay? Now this airport is just, it's incredible. It's an incredible airport. I think it's so unique. If anyone's interested in the history, I'm sure there's plenty of videos to watch on it. But it's such a unique airport, being right on the River Thames. Right there is the literal river that goes through London. It's literally central. So this airport's got a bit more glory in other simulators where you can see all the high rises. But just the approach and the descent. So if we get one of the SIDS or stars, you can see the literal altitude aircraft need to get on departure. So we're runway 27. We'll just add that one, and you can literally see so quickly the aircraft have to turn, or they just got to get high so quickly. If we choose an approach into this airport as well, I think it's the arrival I'm after. No, it actually is the approach I want. Runway 27, you can see on the just any of them vectors to final, the aircraft, even at so close to the runway there, is at 2,000 feet. So it's like double the altitude it would want to normally be. So it's incredible. And in showing everyone all that, we've driven through the airport. So we'll come back here. Even if you go into the short final here, look how high you are. So I think this airport's really unique in its steep approaches to the landing and takeoff, and I think that really does add to its uniqueness. So here again you've got the really small terminal, and it's just such a cool airport. So I think you guys would definitely enjoy this, especially if you like flying, you know, the A220, the E190. British Airways used to operate in a 318 flight out of here, where it was an all business class configuration to I want to say New York, perhaps JFK, which is a really cool route. So yeah, it's really a business place to fly to, but it's a great airport and definitely worth it. And then the final airport on my list. Now this airport can sustain 777s. I don't think it can take an A380. I'm sorry, but I'm fairly sure it can take a 777. And I think, do you know what? It is an underused airport, and it probably is a really good airport. So we've got to try and get the right one. We might be in the wrong bay here, but it can definitely take 777s, which means it can take 787s out, and it can fly to places like New York and across the pond and everywhere. So we're almost certainly in the wrong parking spot, but that's fine. We probably want to be in one of them. But there's a cool feature I want to show everyone. So here is the tower, and I'm pretty sure if I change the time of day, there we go, look, it lights up. Now that is such a cool little addition they added, and I think that's something that's really cool. So if you're going to fly here, you know, at sunrise or sunset and see that, it's yeah, it's definitely worth seeing. So yeah, so along here you can see, look, there you go, you got the dotted lines where it's been made for, to have bigger aircraft in it. So yeah, that's that. But yeah, if you guys did enjoy this, please do like and subscribe, and let me know if you plan on now flying out of any of these I'd say underrated airports in the UK. But yeah, other than that, I hope to hear from you all soon. Have a lovely evening. Good night.